Hey everybody, my name is Professor Fredericks, and I am your instructor for CIS680, Cloud Applications Development. This class is going to be fully asynchronous, and this is serving to hopefully be a welcome video for you as we get into this semester. Now, I ran this class last semester as heads up, and it was only a 5-week course at that point, so it is now extended to a full 15-week course. So we have a little bit more time to explore and investigate different things. If you talked with anybody from last semester, it's kind of why I would put that out there. So the way this is going to work is that all of the course content being asynchronous and remote will be online. I will have videos for you every week. Usually I'm going to try to shoot for 10 to 15 minutes so that it's not too long. And we'll be going over some of the various cloud applications that are out there, some of the different techniques and technologies that you can use to get up and running and build whichever type of cloud application you would like. Now, for this course, we are going to be centering around Google Cloud, which is one of the top 3 cloud providers as of this date. I know they kind of trade places with Azure from time to time. But one thing to really keep in mind is that all of the things you will learn in here for Google Cloud are fully transferable to any other platform. Whether you want to go, Amazon, whether you want to go Microsoft or DigitalOcean or any of the plethora of cloud providers out there, the ideas are all the same, right? I mean, a cloud function versus a Lambda function versus any of the other serverless types of functionalities that are out there, the ideas are all going to be the same. Same with virtual machine hosting, with firewalls, with VPC security, all of these things that you will come to learn in this class, they're applicable everywhere. So don't feel constrained by Google Cloud. Now, the reason why we are using Google Cloud is that I am able to get coupons for you all to use it for free for the duration of the class. You don't have to pay. You don't have to put your credit card in. There is no charge to you whatsoever. If we were to go with Amazon or even Azure, you would need to either burn through your promotional credits, which I don't want because I'd rather you use that for something else, or you'd have to pay for it, which I also don't want. So we're going to use Google Cloud. I will give you coupons. The links are all going to be in Blackboard. I'll kind of go through all of that in another video for redeeming and all that. But basically, this is free to you. So the one thing to keep in mind, no matter what, never put your credit card into this because I don't want any unseen charges to pop up for you. And if this is your first time using Google Cloud, don't redeem the free trial that you see when you log in for the first time. Usually there's like a big banner across the top of the screen saying you get, I think it's either $100 or $500 of free credits. Save that for something personal that you want to use later on. Or, if your term project ends up taking off for this class, which you will have a term project, use it for that later on, but outside of this class. Okay, so what I would like to kind of go through now is some of the things that we'll be using in this class. And I guess one thing I should also clarify to you before we get too far into it is that these videos are going to be a mix of new and old videos. So last semester I recorded a bunch, and this semester I'll be augmenting those as well. So some of them you'll see me in my office here at GVSU. Some of them you'll see me last year in one of my bedrooms or my office at home. During the pandemic, obviously we couldn't come in, so I recorded all those out of my house, but you'll get some of my lovely office here as well. So the first thing to really are different websites that we'll be using. So this page here is currently unavailable to you. I'll be opening it up during winter break, which by the time you see this, it's not going to make any difference anyway. But this is going to be our Blackboard page. Now, everything that you will be submitting for this class will be through Blackboard. So basically, our content will be all on GitHub. All of our assignments will be posted to Blackboard. They should all be available to you on day 1 as well. Just, take that for what you will. But basically, we're going to have, all of our assignments, all of our deadlines, and, you can kind of see here, I haven't finished putting the deadlines up yet. But basically, it's going to give you an idea of what is due when. Now, for weekly content, this is basically where everything is going to be living. I'm going to break up folders by 3 weeks at a time. So here you can see weeks 1 through 3. We'll be going through the introduction, doing cloud technologies, doing serverless functions, and here are the assignments that you have due for these first 3 weeks of class. Typically 1 to 3 assignments per week, depending on how complicated they are. A lot of them are going to be technical in nature. I will have some reflections for you to do as well so that I can kind of get a feel for, what you're understanding and what you're not understanding in the class. So basically just please go through the Blackboard page, and if you have any questions, email me, message me in Discord, let me know. Whatever it's going to take to get you up and running in the class. I'll do my best to support you. So basically, summarize, look at Blackboard, keep up with the assignments, make sure that you know what's going on. The other thing too is that with this being asynchronous and remote, we will not have class sessions. So I can't be bothering you every week saying, hey, this is due, don't forget. It will be up to you to keep up with the assignments. So I would honestly suggest setting up calendar entries and reminders for yourself saying, hey, assignment 1 is due by Friday. I should probably submit that. So again, all these dates are going to be on the first thing that you see when you go to the class under the course information page. It's all going to be right there. So in terms of the structure of the course, we will have the videos. I'll show you the blog in a minute with all the content. We will also have a midterm and a final exam, which will be done through Blackboard. I'll have a separate post about that where I'll kind of go through the particulars and the details. Basically, I think it will be either open for 24 or 48 hours. You can complete it in your own time. Just make sure that you give it a proper amount of effort. Obviously you would with the rest of the course. So we will have that. We'll have a term project. You'll get some more details on that later. Basically, just as kind of a byline for the term project, I'll be asking you to string together several cloud technologies into one cohesive project. It's not going to be a full semester term project. It's going to be a partial semester, so you get more details on that in the near future as well. But other than that, make sure you go through Blackboard. Let me know if you have any questions on that. In terms of the blog that I was kind of talking about, there is this page that I've got up on GitHub for all of your course content. So basically every single week I will have a post with a list of the videos, with a list of the labs specific to that week. Let's just click week 1 here. And you can kind of see that it's basically, honestly, it's a blog style way of presenting content to you. I kind of like this way because it's all laid out nicely. Rather than me doing dry presentations, you can kind of read through this at your leisure. This is basically taking the place of your course textbook. So I would definitely make sure you read through that. And if you have any questions, again, please feel free to contact me. So yeah, there's going to be lots of information up here. The search functionality is basically just text for the title. So it's not a great function for searching. I should probably do some kind of a cloud-based search, honestly. But that's there for you as well. And again, there's the the links for every single thing that you're going to need on a week-by-week basis. Okay, for consuming the content, since you will have it all available to you on day 1, I would try to pace yourself, honestly. Otherwise, it's going to become pretty quickly overwhelming. I would say there's a lot of material in here to get through. I would say just try and follow on a week-by-week basis. If you have extra time earlier, feel free to jump ahead. That's fine. I'm more than happy to handle questions for whichever step of the class you're on. The only thing is with grading, I'm not going to grade your assignments until the deadline for that assignment. So if you submit something early, don't expect feedback until that deadline passes, basically. Feel free to ask me questions about it if you're concerned, but just for fairness for everybody else, I'm only going to grade them when the deadline occurs. So we have our course page. Feel free to start kind of going through that and planning out your own personal schedules. The deadlines will be firm in Blackboard. I've got some very particular late requirements that you can read about in the syllabus. Basically, every day something's late, I'll take 10% off. If you have extenuating circumstances, please let me know well in advance because usually I'm pretty easy to work with, but once that deadline gets close, I'm a little bit less forgiving, honestly. And the syllabus is in Blackboard as well, so feel free to check that out. We have our YouTube playlist where all the videos are in one place. So that's not currently updated for winter of 22 at this point, but basically you can listen to me at 1.5 speed or whatever you want in, one nice, easy to follow playlist in order. So we have our content, we have our blog, syllabus is up there as well. This is what you're going to see for the majority of the class once you get up and running with Google Cloud. I'll have a separate video set up for you for getting up and running and redeeming credits and all that fun stuff. But basically, this is going to be, assuming they don't change their style, what we're going to be looking at for the semester here. We have project information, we have our resources. One of the things to talk about, and I want to reiterate this, you'll be hearing this a lot throughout the semester, is keep an eye on your billing account because one of the things to really get a hold on with cloud technologies is billing because everything you do is going to cost money, whether you think it's a minor thing or not, it's going to cost you something. And your credits for the class will cover that, but once you get out into the working world or once you get out and are using this for your own projects, you're going to start seeing charges roll in. So basically just keep an eye on billing here. Feel free to go in, check it out. You can set reports, you can set notifications, limits, all of that. This is all something we'll be going into later on down the line, but I want to really stress that you should pay attention to your billing. We'll be getting into best practices soon as well, but just be aware, again, everything will cost you something in this class. Other than that, that is pretty much it for this first video. Getting a little bit long, so I want to kind of wrap it up so that you're not spending all day watching me on this. But I hope you have a wonderful class. And actually, you know what? One more thing to show you. Let me have to slice this up like crazy. All right. Okay. One other thing to note as well. So we have a Discord server for class. Now, in terms of getting a hold of me and talking to me, this is probably the easiest way. I will also respond to emails as well. But basically, if you want to get a hold of me to talk about class, about projects, about issues you're having, feel free to message me on Discord. Feel free to drop a message in our 680 channel here. There's a link to the Discord server in Blackboard and in the syllabus. Make sure you join it, set your role for 680 so that I can ping everybody if I need to. But basically, this is a space for everybody to talk. Feel free to ask each other questions, talk to each other, talk to me. I'm pretty active on here. So that's another resource for you to get a hold of me as well. Now, for other interactions, I will hold office hours 3 times a week. Basically, these are general office hours for everybody. If you want to meet with me, I will be in person at GVSU. I will also be available through Discord video as well if you want. So if you want to get a hold of me and set up an appointment, you can do it during office hours. You can do it outside of class or outside of our office hours, sorry. And we can do a video meeting remotely. Discord is honestly the easiest way for me, but if you would rather use Zoom or something like that, we can do that too. Last point is that I will also run an open session, so like an hour per week. I haven't finalized the date and time yet as of this video, but it would be dedicated to 680 topics. So I think what I would have is probably an open Blackboard Collaborate session or maybe a Discord session, just kind of depends on what's easiest for everybody. And it'd basically be just to drop in, ask 680 related questions, and no need to come join every week if you don't want to, but might be a nice way to get to know your classmates or get to know me or something like that in a actual live setting rather than asynchronous videos. So other than that, that should wrap it up for this video. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the class, if you're worried about anything, If something doesn't make sense, please feel free to get a hold of me. And just to kind of summarize, if you have any issues whatsoever with anything in the class, please feel free to talk to me as early as possible about it. Because if you have an issue, it's much easier to take care of sooner rather than later. So, hope you have a wonderful class. Hopefully, I'll see you at some point during office hours or the open sessions, but otherwise, good luck.